Oh no, she's gonna try it.
Don't leave. I don't want to grow up without you.
Before you know it, I could be back with Bellamy, Clark, and Maddie.
And Murphy?
Him too.
Why is Murphy's everyone's favorite?
I love you, little one. Don't you ever forget it.
Aww.
You won't accept this now, but I'm probably saving your life. Because even with that thing on...
She destroyed it.
You want to hate me? Hate me. But hope needs you. Stop making us for hope. Your brother left you to die. Why are you so eager to run back to him? Why aren't we enough? I just need to tell him. I understand. Because I understand. I need to tell him. This is your home now.
Well, what are you waiting for? What? Belle, I hope against hope that this letter reaches you.
You wrote him a letter?
I need you to know that you were right. There was a darkness in me. But Diyoza helped me pass that darkness. It's behind me now. I need you to know that I finally understand all you did to protect me, watch over me, love me. I wish I could see your face and hug you.
She's gonna just
And
throw
tell you
it?
that I get it now.
And it's gonna go somewhere
I
else.
wish I could thank you. If you get this, I'll probably be an old lady or dead. I want you to know I was happy. I have hope. Diyoza's a pain in the ass, but I love her. Like I love you.
Love this. She was
Please
happy.
don't worry about me. You deserve to be happy, big brother. Always yours, Octavia.
That letter though. She overcame the darkness and she grew to be happy, and like even though she said Diyoza was a pain in the ass, like she still loved her, you know, because Diyoza helped her a lot and she was happy. Like happy, oh, that's all I wanted, and I just know that that doesn't end there because she later becomes unhappy, I guess, because she gets back to Sanctum somehow. But oh, it's happy, and that's good enough for me. The bottle?
Where did you get that?
I found it here.
That was not meant for you.
How did the bottle not ever...
Sailor Hope.
Did she take the bottle?
His transport crashed here. Colin is the sole survivor. He found the stone the same way we did. Salvaged from the wreckage to measure tiny fluctuations in the stone caused when the correct symbol is touched in the right order.
I remember when she threw this into the bridge. I still thought Sanctum was on the other side. It must have been how they knew we were here.
So they did.
Hey,
Come
here.
No.
Get them back. Whatever it takes. We'll get them all back.
Same damn poem every day.
You must think I'm so weak.
The opposite. I've seen your moves. With teachers like Diyoza and Octavia, I wouldn't want to face you in battle.
They didn't teach me to fight. My mom wouldn't allow it.
I just noticed she doesn't have any tattoos here. What the hell? How did I not pick that up? Where did her tattoos go? Okay.
A prisoner came here a few months after they left. Death. He taught me.
The body.
Something's happening. Here we go.
The anomaly.
No, I did it. I need something to write with. The charcoal, a pen, anything.
Oh, no.
Be careful with that.
Oh, no, he's gonna destroy it.
We need to rewind it so that once we see it, we can open the bridge ourselves. We can go home. Too soon. I must serve my time.
If you want to stay, you can stay. Just give us back.
No, I serve the master and his shield and his sword for all mankind.
Oh, no. Fuck. Also, who's this master? He said for his shield and for his sword. I'm guessing this is where they come.
Remember this?
Remember carrying your ass through the woods in it? That's me on dishes.
Could have made your daughter a pair of pants if you didn't rip the sleeve off.
I ripped the sleeve off to save that gnarly arm of yours. It's time to throw that damn thing away.
This is tomorrow too.
Yep.
Oh.
Keep her out of sight.
Mom?
Don't worry about it. It'll be okay.
Ah!
Who are you? Octavia or Diyoza?
You just tell me what this is about.
Octavia's letter.
Octavia left a long time ago. I'm alone here now.
Search the cabin for the other one. Restrain her.
Octavia! You fool! There is no hope! Come on down!
Oh, they're hiding her.
Get in. Hurry.
Oh no, this is when she leaves them.
Just stay quiet. No matter what you hear, you have to stay quiet. Do you understand? I promise you, Mommy and Auntie will come back for you. But right now, you can pray.
Oh no! I'm guessing this is where they leave.
Right now! Secure them. Helmets on. Andrew wants to remember everything.
Oh, the helmets keep you from losing your memory.
Mom?
Oh, poor Hope. I thought we would get like a little bit more on like what's gonna happen now that the guy destroyed the thing, because they can't get out now. Okay, so I really like this episode. Like I said earlier, like episode 2 seems to be like a good episode to get like more information on Octavia. Maybe just because like the Red Queen was episode 2 for season 5. Maybe that's what I was thinking. But I'm so happy that we got this episode to show us what happened in the time that Octavia was out of the anomaly. Also, Octavia is like 10 years older now, so she's technically older than Bellamy and than most of the people, which is crazy. But I am glad that we got this episode, and I absolutely love the name of this episode, especially because Diyoza and Octavia were seen as the two serpents in the Garden of Eden, and that's why Eden never stood a chance, which I absolutely love that line, and I loved the Serpents trailer, or promo, that the CW did for season 5. It was like my favorite and got me so hyped for the season. But you know, they were the two serpents, and it was because of the war between them for control of the Garden of Eden that it was destroyed. And here, this episode's called The Garden, and here we see them working together. They've come such a long way. They're working together and raising hope. And it's like, it's crazy because if you take out hope as a person, it's like the two serpents in the garden, raising the garden up from the ground, raising hope, bringing hope, you know? Like, so much, like, what's the word? Analogies? No. I don't know what the word is. I'm dumb. But you know, it's crazy, and I really, really enjoyed it, and especially Octavia's letter to Bellamy. Unfortunately, that is why the disciples came and found them, but by saying, I have hope, like, they took it as she has hope that everything will be okay, and not like Hope the person, because only people who knew what Diyoza was planning on naming her baby would know. So they were just like, okay, there's 2 people here, let's go get them. So thankfully, Hope was able to stay hidden, and they took Octavia and Diyoza, and now she's by herself. Now, she did mention earlier in the episode that this guy came, Dev, and I guess he taught her how to fight and stuff, and maybe when they came for him, she went with him. I don't know, but he's obviously dead because we saw his mummified corpse, and that was really sad because, like, you know, when she was 10, she lost her mom and her Auntie O. I love it. She lost her mom and Octavia, and then who knows how long it was before this dev guy showed up. And then she went back into the anomaly. When she came back to Skyring, which I really love her name for it, she found that Dev had also died. And that is why the guy with the isolation madness is called the Dull Hope, because Dev must have told him about it. And who knows how long he's been there, but he has like 5 years left. And to have that much isolation madness, I feel like you've been there for a while. So I'm going to talk about the flashbacks first. I absolutely love that Octavia got there right as Diyoza was giving birth. And Diyoza called Octavia her friend, which was just adorable. And Diyoza had like, what, 3 months? Yeah, 3 months alone. And she managed to do all right. Thankfully, Octavia came by and helped her with Hope. And it was just such a parallel between when Octavia was born and Bellamy helping his mom give birth to Octavia. And now Octavia is here helping Diyoza give birth. It's just so cute. And how she like sticks the pinky in the mouth to like calm the baby, because like Bellamy must have told her that story over and over and over again. And I literally thought she was gonna say like, I won't let anything bad happen. I was gonna cry. Like, I was like, nope, not doing it. And I think if she did say it, I would have needed a moment. But wow, I really, really enjoyed it. We didn't get anything in the flashbacks, but we did hear Hope say, "My mom, my responsibility." So that's definitely something she picked up from Octavia, and we didn't see that in the flashback, but still, I really, really love that she had that line. So in the flashbacks, it shows Octavia trying to get back to Bellamy because she wants to tell him that she understands everything now. Like, she's had so much time to think about it and just like reflect. So like for me, this is like a parallel to Bellamy's 6 years on the arc. Like, Bellamy did a lot of shit on the ground. They all have. No one's hands are clean. And that's what always bothered me when they came back down to the ground, was that they had time of relatively peace. Like, yeah, sure, they went through hardships with only eating algae and having Murphy in a coma because the first batch was too, like, I don't know what it did, but like it was too strong or something. And then Clark, obviously, like, she was just alone with Maddie and all of that. So, like, they both had their hardships, but no one suffered more than the people in the bunker. And if 1 year on the ground made Clark and Bellamy do horrible things, imagine 6 years leading these tribes that are warring tribes and trying to get them to get along. And Bellamy and Clark were just like, oh, we're in charge again. Or not we're in charge again, but they're just like, oh, this is what you have to do, this is what should be, like, let's make peace. Because they've known that peace, but Octavia hadn't. Because ever since she went to the ground, it's been constant fighting, and in the bunker, it was like that too. Like, what, 42 days in, they were already fighting? So that's what always bothered me of, like, Bellamy and Clark's attitude with everything sometimes. Like, I really enjoyed season 5, but it bothered me because, like, Octavia had gone through so much, and even though there were moments where Bellamy's like, I wish I knew, we never got like an actual conversation of them having time to actually like talk to Octavia and listen to everything that happened in the bunker in those 6 years. But now Octavia had years of peace and tranquility. Yeah, she was trying to get back to her brother, just like the people in space are trying to get back to the ground. Like, it parallels that so nicely. And the fact that it kind of shows that, like, in that time, she was able to reflect and come to understand what Bellamy did and why he did it. So I really like that because it kind of shows, like, we never got flashbacks of their time in the arc. What kind of, like, something similar could have happened to them in the arc where they didn't have anything to do, so they just had time to reflect and think of all their actions, and that's what ultimately changed them. We didn't get to see that, and I like that we got to see that in the flashbacks with Octavia. Now, she did try to get to her brother for, I think Hope said, 6 years. Octavia kept trying to go into the water and try to figure out how to get back to Sanctum. And they didn't know that that anomaly, that part of the bridge, didn't lead back to Sanctum. It leads to Bardo, which is a different planet. And Octavia threw a letter into the water, hoping that it would reach Sanctum. It was a letter for Bellamy. She hoped that somehow it would reach Sanctum, and it didn't. It went straight to Bardo, and that is how they found out that there were people on Skyring or Beta. They came, and luckily they didn't know about Hope, but they took Octavia and Diyoza, and that, like, I had thought maybe Hope had grown up being hidden or something, but no, so that theory's up. Like, they lived in peace. Like, they had relative peace for the longest time. The only fighting was between themselves, and that wasn't too bad. But it was just Octavia, Diyoza, and Hope, and they were in peace, and they had a nice house with a nice garden, and they were raising Hope and teaching her, like, Octavia was teaching earth skills and all of that. They weren't teaching her fighting because they didn't want Hope to be raised like that. I understand that, but Hope still had kind of a fighter spirit. Like we saw, like she was saying, I want to help you get back to your brother, which was just adorable. But they found out that they weren't the first peoples there. I mean, I guess they kind of knew that, like, because there was a house there. But still, it was interesting to see just their interactions. And then when Octavia finally reasoned there wasn't a way to get back to Sanctum, and then they were just like, yeah, she wrote that she was happy, and she was like, you know, she was happy. I love when my characters are happy, even for a while. But she always had that hurt that she could never tell Bellamy that she understood him, which must have weighed a lot on her. And then having to leave Hope was obviously very difficult for her. She didn't have to, but in that moment that they were caught, her and Diyoza must have been so scared and must have been so pained knowing that they were going to leave Hope by herself and not knowing what was going to happen to them. So that broke my heart a little bit. And I want to know more of the flashbacks, but I don't think we're going to get too much more because we were already informed that someone else came, Dev, and helped Hope. Also, when they caught Octavia and Diyoza, they put helmets on them and said something about Anders or whatever wants them to remember everything. So I think the helmets prevent them from losing their memories. So that's pretty cool. So in the present timeline, we got to see Hope with Echo and Gabriel. So after coming back from the anomaly, Hope's memories returned. So that was nice, and she kind of filled us in like what's going on. And there was so much information that I had to put subtitles on and like try to like get it all. But she named the planet Skyring when she was 3, and they had an anomaly stone, and it's the same one as the one in Sanctum. And Gabriel saw on the wall it said CB, and then later we see some corpses that this guy in Isolation Madness maybe dug up. And one of them we see is Dev, who took care of Hope after her mom and Octavia had left. And that was really heartbreaking because that must have hurt her a lot. But the other bodies we don't really know much about, but one of them had his name tag, and Gabriel knew who it was, and it was one of the people from Alicia's 3, and he had the mind drive. So Gabriel was able to take the mind drive and plug it into this thing that apparently he's always had. But this guy was like an astrophysicist or a physicist or something. He was really smart. So Gabriel had hoped that he had figured out the anomaly, which he had. And they were about to write it down, and Gabriel just needed a pen, and the guy with Isolation Madness came in. He broke the computer thing. I'm really hoping Gabriel somehow could remember, but I doubt it. But this guy was from Allegis, and he was on the team for Planet Beta. Now, Gabriel informed after watching the clips from the guy's mind, which was really cool. And we got to see Becca again, which was interesting. But Gabriel informed them that the Allegis transport to Planet Beta crashed, and Colin, I think was his name, or CB, was the only survivor of that crash, and he spent his time trying to figure out the Anomaly Stone, which he's like really smart, like how he used the vibrations of the earth to figure it out. That's brilliant. Unfortunately, we never got to see what happened after the guy activated the anomaly because Gabriel paused it, and then also because like we just don't know what happened. But obviously he died and was buried on that planet Beta, so I'm guessing it didn't go too well for him after he opened the anomaly. So Hope also gave us a little more insight on the disciples. They are from Bardo, and everyone in Bardo is trained to fight, and I guess are warriors. For what, I don't know, but they're all trained, and anyone who's not devout enough or messes up or not pulling their weight gets sent to Planet Beta or Skyring, and they serve out a sentence there. And the prison is basically, solitary confinement, Isolation Madness. They go crazy, and I don't know what happens after the disciples come back and get them. We got a name. Anders is the head of the disciples, so I don't know if he's like the leader or anything, because they called someone Master, the Isolation Madness guy. He called someone Master, so I don't know if he was referring to Anders as like the head of the disciples, or if there's someone even higher than that. But Anders is the one that has Hope's mom, so he has Diyoza. So I'm wondering if anything happened, if Octavia and Diyoza ever saw Hope again. She might have said, because also Hope explained that Octavia's back tattoo was actually Hope's biometric signature in the anomaly or something like that. Like it called to Hope. So for some reason, Octavia had Hope's thing tattooed on her, maybe as a way to get back to her. So maybe, like, they had to get that biometric signature somehow, right? So, like, how did Octavia know that? So, obviously, I guess they captured Hope, or they get her maybe after Dev's, when they go pick up Dev. No, because Dev's dead. Maybe they would check on Deb or bring some other prisoner or something. I don't know. But I want to know how Octavia got Hope's biometric signature and then had it tattooed on her. I still have so many questions. Hope put a locator on her, like kind of like a tracker, to take her back into the anomaly, and it has to be in deep, or else, you know, you can turn it inside out, as Hope said. So that's why she had to stab Octavia. So she never tried to kill Octavia, which is good. So Octavia is alive somewhere with this tracker in her, and that's what took her back into the anomaly. So I'm guessing it took her back to Anders or someone else who wanted her. And why they want her is also a question, because Octavia had time to get that tattooed on her. So obviously something happened after she was taken. Hope had to meet up with her again, maybe. Like something, like there's more to this. Because there's no way she could just have that tattoo, just have it. Like she still needs Hope's signature somehow. My question is too, why did they want Octavia and Diyoza? Like, okay, they realized that people were on here and they just came to take them, I guess? I don't know. But also, what happened to all the people who had crossed into the anomaly and just never came back? Are they still alive somehow since time passes differently? I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing Bardo's time is different. Gabriel mentioned that maybe like a 5-year sentence on Skyring or Beta can be like a weekend in Bardo. So like, who knows? Which is crazy because that's actually really effective for like a prison system. Except for the whole isolation madness, because that really sucks. I'm definitely interested in what? Go away. Okay, so my sister distracted me and she's just carrying my cat around now. But anyways, I think I was on the Disciples. Anyways, I'm definitely interested in what's going on with the Disciples. I'm really excited to learn about them and just know what the hell's going on with Bardo. And also who's in charge there and what their purpose is. Like, what do they want with Octavia and Hope? Or Octavia and Diyoza? And what do they want in general? Like, why are they training all their people to be warriors? Right? Because these must be descendants of Allegius unless they reverse engineered their mind drives also to keep them alive forever. Also, something I found interesting. What?
Look at this picture real quick.
The guy whose isolation madness is, he said something about his master, and then he said for his shield and for his sword. So that's very interesting. And the choice of words, also shield and sword, like that's like older way of fighting, like rounder way of fighting. But like if these are descendants from Allegius, like they should, would they have guns? Yeah, like did they have? Yeah, Russell had a gun, so they would have more like advanced technology, which is interesting. Maybe it's a society, and they have guns and everything. So I guess for his shield and sword is more like a saying than actual, like they actually have shields and swords. So I'm interested in that, and just like interested in those people in general, because they're definitely an interesting storyline that I'm really, really excited for. And also just wondering how they're gonna wrap everything up by the end of the season. Like this is the last season, so like I'm wondering how they're gonna end all of it. You know, there's so much still to happen, and there's so much different things that can happen, and there's different storylines like Sanctum and the Anomaly, and obviously we're going to see Echo and Gabriel back in Sanctum, but I did not see Hope in the trailer back in Sanctum, so that worries me a little bit. Also, we saw Echo with tattoos at one point, and I'm not really sure about that because later on, like in this episode, I don't think Hope had her tattoos at all. That's weird. And where did those tattoos go? What happened? Like Octavia didn't come back with tattoos, so I'm interested in that, definitely. And I just can't wait to see more planets and see what the hell's going on. And so like their next stop is Bardo. So like what's the stop after that? Because I think there's 6 planets. So definitely interested in that, and just like who this Anders is, and is he the master, or is the master someone different? I'm guessing Anders is the he that Octavia was talking about. So I think Hope and Octavia and Diyoza may have reunited at one point before Octavia was sent back into the Anomaly to Sanctum. But my question is also, did Octavia have a mission when she went back to Sanctum that she couldn't remember, or was it just like an escape thing? But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Absolutely loved it. I love the Octavia content. And Octavia and Diyoza were just such a badass team up last season, and I absolutely love them, that I'm really excited that we got more on them, and just their like years of peace, I guess, and Diyoza's like whole change and everything. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I really want more on the two of them. So I'm really excited to hopefully see Diyoza again and Octavia again, and see what's going on with them and why Anders has them, and if they're okay. And like, obviously he wanted Hope to get Octavia back, so I'm wondering what Octavia did that they threatened Diyoza and sent Hope And also, like, how long has it been for them? Because, you know, time passes differently. So Hope was only gone for a little bit, but, like, how long has it been for Anders? Like, how long has he been waiting? And how long has Diyoza been waiting? I don't know. I'm definitely interested. There's so much going on that I'm so confused at the same time. I think that was it. This episode didn't have anything on Sanctum, which it reminds me of season 5, episode 2, The Red Queen, where it was just focused on what happened inside the bunker, and we didn't really get anything on Space Crew or Clark and Co. So that was interesting. I like this, though. I really enjoyed the storyline. We got a lot of information this episode, and I have a lot of questions, and the biggest one is, where the hell is Bellamy, and how are they going to finish this season and finish the show? Obviously, I think there's going to be like a backdoor plot for a spinoff, so I'm interested in that. And I also want to know if the spinoff, like, I've mentioned it, like, I kind of want the spinoff to be back on Earth with the Grounders and, like, the years that we didn't know about them. But the spinoff could be more sci-fi, and it could be just about this, one of the planets and the people on it. So definitely interested in that. And I can't wait to see more episodes. And again, I'm sorry this is going to be late because I have to leave in a couple hours. And I'm not going to be somewhere where I can upload. But I am just going to take my laptop and edit this over there. So when I come back, I can upload it as soon as possible. I feel like I didn't talk about everything, but this is probably going to be a super long review anyways. But I feel like I'm leaving things out, so just because, like, my sister needs to go pick up her school stuff, and my grandparents just woke up, and I have a lot going on right now. So, and I have to make breakfast. Crap. Oh, I forgot. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Please comment down below what you thought of this episode, and what you think is going on, and where Bellamy is. Like, maybe he's at Bardo. I'm guessing he's at Bardo. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I will see you for the next episode of The 100. Bye, guys!